to the show, es Los Pimientos. Muy caliente on the instrumental. There's no signs of a deep crescendo. Steady climbing up at a real fast tempo. Phantasmal, cast shadows. Paranormal, emo cryptid tales. Soy un chili pepper, pero no pequeño. Give you goosebumps, spooky stories that we share. So kick your feet up, relax, enjoy the next episode. Brought to you from your hosts, Sergio and Robbie. This passion, not a hobby. No, nobody's gonna stop me. Socks got it on lock, imitators try to copy. Keep up, we moving top speed. Conspiracies, guaranteed to make your heart pound. Checking out, it's your homie Danny Dtown. Stay spicy, y'all.
Welcome back, Chili Peppers, to Los Pimientos Fantasma. I'm your host, Robbie.
And Sergio, aka Jackie. What's up, y'all?
And we have a special today. It's Hitler's birthday.
Yay!
Just kidding.
For my Führer!
It's a 420 special.
Yeah.
And like always, I have a guest for 420. So we have a special guest here. It's my boss from work, technically.
Yes. From his
This,
ship, not my ship.
this is Jacob. So just start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll just start.
Yeah, my name's Jacob. I like to bullshit a lot. Like to have fun. I don't, I mean, a little new to me, this recording stuff, but I've always thought about it. So, that's about it. I just like to have fun and be in a good mood all the time. All the time.
And every time when I enter at work, that's a whole different story.
Well, when I go to work, it's the same thing. It's still the same thing because you got to stay positive. Positive, positive, positive. Can't let nobody bring you down.
I was like, Jacob, when'd you get pregnant? I'm like, hold on.
Huh?
I was like, when'd you get pregnant? I'm like, wait, hold on there.
Hey. Oh, we don't get pregnant anymore.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's already done with. I already got my kids, and that's it. We're done. I got 4 kids. I couldn't have been blessed with anything better. 2 boys, 2 girls. They're all graduates. Well, my youngest is still working on it, but
It's good.
he's getting there.
Yeah.
He's getting there. We're good.
So you got any, let's see, I know you said you had paranormal stories. I know you said you worked at the Hyatt.
Yeah, I worked at a lot of different places. I worked at Grand Hyatt downtown, maintenance engineering. I worked at Fiesta Spices. I worked at the news group, which is Lone Star periodicals, any magazine, books, anything you can read. That's where it comes from. Yeah, everything. Worked in car wash. I've worked in construction. I mean, if you name it, I've done it. And I'm a mechanic by trade. Well, I say not by trade because just from life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I am, too.
Yeah, I don't let nobody touch my cars. Since I was 18 years old.
No, the only regret I have is porque pues, my dad being, no voy a decir la cosa es porque, like, with the mechanics stuff, porque my dad is, ever since I was born, he was always a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Not only for cars, but for, like, a lot of shit. He used to be a mechanic for our old job a long time ago.
Yeah.
So the one thing I have regret, like I always call him just in case if I don't know something, I know, let me bug my dad, like, hey, apa, que sabes de esto. Y una vez me dice, no, al rato vengo para allá, like, pues, porque remember, originally I'm not from here, I'm from Eagle Pass. So de repente viene, hace los 2 hours, and he'll help me out fix the car. But one time, I told him, straight up told him, no me toques el carro, ya está arreglado, está jalando. Fucking touches it. Y él, no lo tocan. No, ahora tú te lo doy yo te lo arreglo. The next day, fucking died. And ever since then, it died. I was like, this? Like, bro, I fixed him up. Like, I already got it. He me like, I'm like, damn. So now it's all dead.
Crazy. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was like.
it's just regular TPT, right? Yeah, because I'm gonna have to go test pretty soon, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm not used to that, but the situation that happened, so I gotta have to.
Oh,
But be all right with this. But yeah, that my stepdad, he was married to my mom for like maybe, I don't know, maybe like 10 years, something like that. But I should have got to know him better than. But then again, me and my mom, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
You know, But I should have because he was a mechanic, like straight up. He worked on. I don't know if you ever seen the Spurs Camaro. It's black and silver. You open the hood, the engine. It's got all the aluminum emblems of Spurs, and it's like, I mean, that's a beautiful car. Beautiful car. He worked on the ZZ Top's car.
That's cool.
Yeah, he used to work at a shop right there off of Burwood, which they do a lot of high end, uh, you know, classic cars and stuff. But he left me with a 1980 Cutlass Supreme Brom with the Hummer diesel engine. And as a matter of fact, I went outside yesterday and I blew up the tire because one of the tires was it doesn't run right now. It'll work, but I need to work on I need to put the fuel tank and the fuel pump.
Oh, fun.
But other than that, if I put a battery in it and I crank it and just hook it up to some fuel, it'll start. Yeah. And he, like I said, he done some modifications to it también.
Okay.
So yeah, and I should have got to know him a lot more, but it was like you say, if I had something I didn't know, I would call him, or I would say this, this, I don't know what's going on, and he would let me know.
So my dad was.
Yeah.
Okay, like that's the wisdom they have from the tantos años. It's like constantly like already seeing like there was one time like I would porque told me family was on Mexico, we all use WhatsApp. Sometimes I'll just video come like, mira, this is the part, I don't know what the fuck, here's the noise. I'll tell them like crank the car or something like they're like, yes, look at it. Thank you. I'll just start fixing it from there.
Yeah. And that's the thing about parts. If my car needs a part and I don't like the part that they make for it, well, I'll fabricate one. I'll make it to last.
Sí.
And I'll make sure that it looks legit, so it doesn't look all like, jerry rigged.
Yeah, it doesn't look all hillbilly. Be like, who the fuck gave you moonshine?
It's gonna fall off, or whatever.
It's not gonna be like one of those cars that they just hook up a regular light switch from the house and just flick it to turn on.
Oh yeah, isn't that what you said, Robbie? Did you say that your uncle had one like that?
Yeah.
With the light
switch.
Yeah.
And then the other, what did I say? What else? Oh, when you unlock the car, with the old, remember how you press it?
Yeah.
This one, you just press the button and all the cars unlock.
Oh,
like
man.
all 4 of them unlock. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you're not worried? Like, he's like, they're not gonna know. And like a week later, his car got stolen.
TikToks, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So
Yeah, that's how it is.
it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Seen a lot of different things.
Working at the Hyatt, have you ever like seen some shit like? Because I know there was one time where I was that back area of the Hyatt by where the Henry is. It's those Aztec statues right there by the Hispanic museum.
Yes, I do.
There was a bunch of like cones just there. I guess they were doing maintenance or something.
A bunch of what?
Cones, like traffic cones.
Oh, okay.
And it was like dead. Like there was no wind, nothing. And just out of nowhere, all 4 cones just flipped over, and I was like, "Okay, I know you're here."
Yeah, that's pretty strange.
I don't think I was trying to make you leave. I think he was like, my autism is showing. Fuck it, I'm bored. Just hitting the cones.
I'll tell you, said I never got to see any kind of ghosts or anything weird like that at the hotel. But in two of the mechanical rooms that I had to go into to do some, the mechanical readings for the water pumps and all that stuff, it felt weird in there. It did feel weird. Just in those 2. Anywhere else, because I had to do every day I go in, I will have to go and do the readings on the basement floor for the chill water pumps that are coming in from saws. You have to check all the chill water temperatures, pressures, and then from there you will go to basement 2, because I was on basement 1. I go to basement 2. On basement 2, that's where they had the risers for the hot water, and I would go up to the 5th floor, and that's where they would stop there. And then from there, they had to go to the 3rd floor. In the 3rd floor, there was a mechanical room there, and that one was basically air handlers. Like pretty big. I mean, when you change the filters out, you literally had to shut the thing down. You open a door, the filters are like this. Yeah, they're like this big. So you go in there and freaking changing them out. Then from there, you go to the 5th floor where the pool's at. You do the pool readings. There's a mechanical room there for the risers that go all the way to the top. Yes, and then from there you'd go to the 24th floor, and the 24th floor had some pumps that would go all the way up to the condos up there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of different mechanical rooms I had to be in, but only those two. Only 2 of them. They were huge, but it was just weird. It was like you could feel, like I always was like
always checking your back.
Here. Yeah, and you could hear if anybody came. I could be in the very back, and you could hear if anybody came in the doors over in the front, because you would go. One of them was on the 3rd floor. That one on the 3rd floor is at the very end. So when you open those doors, you can literally walk maybe like a foot or 2 over to the left, and you can see all the way to the back of the height, of the building. So, but you can hear everything. I never heard anything or saw anything move in there, but those rooms, yeah, they were
like you felt audible.
Gotcha. Strange. Yeah, it was strange. I always felt like somebody was there, like somebody might have been hiding, or it's just weird. Just weird. But
there's a store by where we work. Stickers and Stars.
Yeah.
You go into Stickers and Stars.
Let me guess. Do they sell stickers and stars?
No. It's a full-time Halloween store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But in the back of the store, they have 2 haunted dolls.
Right
when you walk past that doorway.
Yeah, you feel it.
You feel everything that's in that store.
Dang.
And like the other day, like one time, I was trying to find stuff for one of my Deadpool cosplays or something, and I could feel something just watching me like throughout the store. Like, I was like, fuck alone, I'm just looking. And Eric, remember Eric?
Yeah.
He was like, "You're really freaking out, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can fucking feel it." I was like, "You can't feel shit." He was like, "You're just bullshitting." So then he tells the lady Candy, he was like, "Hey, Robbie wants to see Sarah, the haunted doll." And I was like, "I didn't fucking say that shit. I didn't say that shit. What are you talking about?" And Candy was like, she's like, "You can feel her, can't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy my shit. I'm gonna leave right now." They stayed in the store. I was like, "I'm good."
Shall I tell you the very first time I ever had any kind of experience like that, dude? I was like, I think I was probably about 5 years old. I was about 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. My dad was hardly, he was not in the picture really, but every blue moon or whatever, my mom would take us and just drop us off. And if he was there, we would go. He would take us in or whatever. But he wasn't always happy to have to take care of us for some reason, because of his other wife or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's it. But we don't. Berta. We always called her Berta.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just weird because this one time we were there, and we would sleep. Me and my brother, we would sleep in the living room. All stepbrother, stepsisters, they had their room. There's this hallway that would go, it was long. I remember it was a long hallway. The restroom was at the end with the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So that night, I don't know what was going on, but I was trying to go to sleep. And then I couldn't go to sleep, and I needed to go to the restroom, but at the same time, I'd look down the hall, and it was weird. Then I could literally hear somebody fucking walking like in boots.
I did like.
Yeah, not like shoes. They were walking in boots. Like,
Oh, you heard that?
yeah.
Yeah.
You could hear them getting closer and closer, but you never see nothing. And I was so damn scared that I went to go sleep with my dad. And I believe, yeah, I fucking went to bed that day. Excuse my language. I went to bed that day because I was just, it scared the crap out of me. Damn, and then of course his wife got all pissed off, and my dad's like, well, he's a kid, blah blah blah. Yeah, no, it was just so bunch. Yeah, she was just weird like that.
Yeah,
weird. Like it was weird there. My stepbrothers, stepsisters, they wouldn't call him dad. They would call him by his name, which was weird. And that's two of them were my blood. They're from him, but they would call him by his name. That's weird too.
Yeah.
But that was the first time ever that I know that I had a weird, something was in that hallway, dude. Something was in that house. And I never had any, always slept, well, not always, like I said, it was very rare, like maybe that we were there. But yeah, I remember that. That's the first time I ever had that kind of experience. That was a long time ago. Dang, it was a long time ago how the years go by.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yep. But then later on, you were saying about crazy stories at the Hyatt, right? Mm-hmm. Well, there was a guy. He was I don't know. He was on his medications or he was high on something. I don't know. I just know that he was following this one other guest, a lady, and he followed her not into her room, but where the room was at.
Yeah. And
then she said that he was just hanging out in the hallway, like talking all kinds of crap, this, that, and the other. But she knows it because you have to walk, maybe like 10 feet from where the hall turns. You have to walk 10 feet to where her door was at. And yeah, because when you go up in the elevators in the Grand Hyatt, you turn to the left and you can turn to the right. You go to the right, you end up at the end of the hall where you're looking out the windows to the Henry B. Okay. And then when you turn to the left, you walk down like half the distance that you walk to the right. But at the end of that hallway, there's a small, there's a 10 feet corridor right there that has several rooms. You got the one at the very end right there. And that's where on the backside facing the tower, it's got a corner. It's cornered off. That's that room that was there. And then, of course, you take a left. It's like you take a left, and then you take another right, and then the rest of the hall till you get to the side where Lila Cockrell used to be.
Oh, okay.
Well, this dude was in the hallway and whatnot, and her dude was inside the room. But they were there chilling in the room. Well, this guy lost it, and he went and started pounding on the door. Hey, open the freaking door and whatnot. Well, the guy didn't ask no questions. Didn't say that. He came to the door and just blasted him right there. Boom, boom, right in the hallway. Yeah, and I was the one responsible for having to freaking cut out all the carpet, cut the wallpaper.
Oh,
yeah, because forensics came. They came and they did all their investigation. So we couldn't do anything until they were done. Yeah. They had to find how far the blood spatter went. That way we get everywhere. It was a lot. Yeah, that was crazy, dude. That was pretty crazy. It's cool. I don't know about cool. It wasn't cool for that guy that got shot.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, who knows? Maybe that's what he wanted. I don't know. You can never know. But I mean, it's cool on the part where, because it's like a movie scene.
Yeah.
On a Jacob's side, it sucks. You have to think about it. Like, think of a movie where you just see the aftermath. It's like, oh, great,
Talk about a fucking movie. Excuse my language.
Talk
about a movie, dude. freaking me and my buddy, right? We used to do some, I was selling you in the front. We used to, move a couple of things around, make money. And me and my buddy were going down 35 towards Brideman. We're going to what is it called? What's that place over there where they do the lights and everything? Um, the Christmas lights.
Oh, it's the.
I can't. I forget. Yeah, over there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then we're driving, and there's not very many people on the road, right? So we're driving, and there's a Ford Explorer that's a little further ahead of us, and I'm paying no mind. Me and him, we're just talking and whatnot. Like, oh, we're gonna, he knew where we were going. We're going to another buddy's house, and as dude, I look over when we're passing that Explorer. I look over and I see there's a lady in there. There's a lady in there, and she's like turning around and messing around in the back, like if she was getting after some kids or she was doing something. Like, it looked angry. She looked like she was getting on somebody, or she could have had a dog or whatever back there. So we pass her up, maybe like 2 or 3 car lanes. There are two or three car spaces in front already, and we're going. And I just see her truck, dude. It goes to the right, and it went straight to the left. And as soon as it went to the left, she ran into the freaking median and freaking went up in the air. Boom! It just did like four rolls, dude, in the middle.
Shit.
Yeah, and we had a whole bunch of stuff on us, so I was not gonna turn back around.
Yeah.
And I told my buddy, he says something real stupid, right? But it's funny. He goes, "Dude, you caused her to wreck." I said, "The hell you do? I didn't do that. I didn't do that." I said we were already way over here to front. And we were just laughing about it afterwards, but. Yeah, that's like movie scene. I saw like the whole.
You have to see like slow motion. Start flipping.
Yeah, dude, I was like, oh, dude, look at that. And he turned around, he was freaking out. I was like, damn, dude, that's some crazy stuff.
It's like front row seat.
Yes, front row seat.
The other night when I was dropping off Mia, because she'll stay here sometimes, but then I'll have to go drop her off over there. You know where the Subway is?
Yeah.
And then it's the smoke shop, and then right next to it's a bar.
Yeah.
I don't like that smoke shop. They have really crappy stuff, I think.
Oh yeah.
No, exactly.
That's all I wanted to say.
3 bikers came out of the bar, and
Everyone's us.
they were they drove off, but they cut me off.
Mm-hmm.
So then they drove off, and then they're being all slow and shit. So then I went off to this side. When I went off to this side, they sped off. Right? And one guy, I guess he thought it would be smart to pop a wheelie. When he popped the wheelie, his back tire spun out, and he went.
Oh,
when he
shit.
went like that, there was a car on this side, coming this way, and boom, the truck hit him, and it stopped right away, and the other guy sped off. But when all I saw in the corner of my eye was his bike crash, and then him just fly off that ditch area where the train tracks are at. That fly off, and then his shoes fly this way.
It's like, oh sweet, new Jordans.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And
knock your socks off kind of thing.
so then I like stopped like to the side, and I walked over there, and I was like, "Hey, you good?" And I'm fucking here shit. And I picked up his bike, put it to the side, and went back. And his buddies were all the way over there past the bridge, kind of where you go towards your area. You go straight all over the bridge, and then you turn.
Which bridge?
Going towards.
Going down Whitmore towards 410?
Yeah, the highway.
Oh, under 410. They were already under 410?
Yep.
They stopped there, and the other guy stopped, and I was like, "Hey, your buddy got hit by a truck." He's like, "Oh shit!" So he goes back. After that, I just went home.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll pray for him.
That's happening. No, but speaking of again, since we're talking about crashes, it was like a day or two ago. I was driving. I had to go fill up my gallons of water, right? The 5-gallon ones. So and it's fucking ironic that this happened because y'all know how the new Final Destination movie is coming out, right?
Mm.
I had literally just finished watching that, and I told Ralph like, "Hey, babe, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go fill up the gas, right?" So I go do that. Sadly, right there on Babcock, siempre se me. I have like too many people there getting water, my motherfuckers.
Oh,
So I go all the way to Evers. So they're fixing the sidewalk. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like, all right. Can I at least get in? I'm like, all right, bet. That one's always empty, thank God. So I get some McDonald's after that, and so I was getting on horseback on Bandera, right there at the intersection. And I was right there front row, easy, just not thinking about it. I just saw a car, making a right turn to go down Bandera. I don't know, no car, not. Boom! Another one just comes in, hits them like a motherfucker. I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, oh shit, I better not be in Final Destination. So I just started driving right off the boomers and went up west by my fuck that shit. I'm gone.
And yeah, and I've seen a lot of different wrecks like that. Ugly.
Yeah, because I had another wreck, but I didn't get to see fully of it. This is way back when I returned as an insurance manager, and I was controlling one of the offices right there on Fredericksburg and 410, right there on Balcones Heights. So I was catching up with one of my insurance agents because I realized she was part of the same class that I was in when we first started. And we were just talking. Y de repente we just hear, stop. Dude, the fucking car landed right in front of our window.
God damn.
We were like, oh shit. So we literally opened the door, like all of us that were there, the pawn shop, us, the massage parlor and all that shit. We all literally look up. We just see the carnage. The dude comes out fine. Couldn't tell if he was drunk or not, but he's like, I don't feel shit. My dude was like bleeding. I think his arm, like this one was like.
He was probably in shock.
Yeah, he was probably in shock. I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I was like, shit.
That brings me back to right here, where you exit 410 and what is this, Bandera?
Yeah.
Well, we're coming from the house from where we used to live, right there by San Pedro Park. And we're coming, and there's a car, and I see a car coming from the back, and he's swerving, right? He's swerving, and I'm like, damn, this dude's drunk, babe. So I went ahead and pulled over like to the third lane, and I let him pass us up. So he passes up, and I'm watching him, and he's swerving bad, dude. And I'm like, I told my wife, I said, look, I'm gonna make a prayer right now. That I hope to God that he makes it wherever he's gonna make it, and he don't hurt anybody. Nobody gets hurt, or he doesn't get hurt. Well, right after I said that prayer, dude, he literally was driving like he didn't know. I guess he fell asleep or something, and he hit the median right there. He was, I freaking literally drove right behind him after his car literally stopped. I had to veer off to the side because, like I said, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop for that. But that guy ran right into the median, dude. It was crazy. That was another crazy. A lot of crazy shit, dude, like that. That one was proud. But yeah. There was this one. There was this one thing I was gonna tell you because about a ghost and stuff like that. At my mother-in-law's house, I believe that my wife's brother, she has an older brother that had passed away when he was little, and I believe that he's there because, for one, the access panel in the kitchen to the attic, we always close it. For some reason, it always opens up, and it's not like where the house moved and it's got a little crack open. Yeah. This thing is like literally moved over. Yeah. It's like we had to go up there and pull it and put it back in place. Well, one night when I was living, me and my wife when we were younger, the apartments we were living in, stupid maintenance man went to go fix the plumbing upstairs, turned all the water off to that whole section of the building, and then finished what he was doing and went back and turned the water back on. But he didn't remember to go and shut everybody's water back off. Yeah. Well, we got home and the whole freaking apartment was flooded, right? Yeah. So all our stuff was jacked up. Everything, they paid us back. They paid us for whatever was damaged. And then from there, when we moved into my mother-in-law's house, We're there, and at the time I was working 2 jobs. My wife was asleep. I was off that day, so I was still up. It was probably like 11 or so at night. My mother-in-law goes to sleep at 8:30, 9 o'clock. She was already in bed and knocked out.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law's kids, my nephews, they were there earlier in the day, and I had taken a nap, and like I said, I woke back up, and I was awake. Yeah, for it was about 11 or 12 o'clock at night. I'm watching TV, and my daughter, not Jennifer, my daughter Veronica, she was on the floor. She's still a baby. It was only when we had two. She was on the floor, and she was playing on the floor over here, and I'm laying in the bed. My TV is right in front of my bed. The door is right there, and our door, it they don't they didn't have doors that would actually stay closed, right? But when I moved in there, I don't like the door to be just swinging.
Yeah.
And then at my aunt's house, she used to have just the freaking like a sheet or curtains
Yeah,
to
or like the
divide the
little beads.
rooms.
Yeah.
So I don't like, I like my privacy, and when I close the door, I like to be closed.
Yeah.
So I put doorknobs on them all, and all the doors were closed now. That door was closed, dude, closed. I'm watching TV, and I see the door. The door is, it starts, it starts, and I'm like, what the hell? So I'm just thinking it's the kids, right? My nephews, because they were little también, but they were big enough to walk around, and run around and stuff. Well, the door opens, and I see somebody peek inside. I see a shadow just like peek inside and look one way and look the other way, and then they close the door back. And I was like,
You're like,
what the hell?
yeah.
Well, at first, I didn't think nothing of it. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I woke up my wife, and I'm like, I go, are your brother's kids still here? And she's like, what are you talking about, babe? They went home a long time ago. I was like, what do you mean they went home a long time ago? She goes, yeah, they went home. So I get up, I go open the door. And of course, like I said, my mother-in-law, she sleep dead to sleep. She's a hard worker. Yeah. I open the door, all the lights are off, and my light was off. I just see the TV. So yeah, I want to say that was him that opened, my wife's brother that opened the door and freaking looked inside and then closed the door, because even in the dark, I see the shadow. I could see the shadow. Yeah, like that freaked me out. And like I said, all the lights were off, everything was off, and my mother-in-law, she's always had weird experiences. Like, for some reason, one time that she put the bag of flour on the fridge. That's where she would have it, right? She would have a small bag of flour because she had to have like a literally an ice chest full of flour. She makes tortillas. She work at a restaurant.
Okay.
She used to work at Lisa's Mexican restaurant and Rosario's Mexican restaurant. She was cook all the way. Anybody come over, de volada. Couple of minutes, you hungry? ¿Quieres algo comer? Boom, boom, boom. She had a pretty decent bag, put it on top of the fridge, and I wasn't there at the time. This is what my wife, my wife was what they told me, and they heard a big old ruckus because they were younger, and they heard a ruckus over there in the kitchen. Well, what was it? The flour somehow or another fell off of the fridge, and she was covered in it.
Oh shit!
Covered. And of course, my wife and everybody, they were laughing, but I know that she, from the times that I lived there and I know her, nothing really falls from up there. She puts everything so it doesn't fall.
Yeah.
So I can only say that's one of the times that happened to her with that. So I think that was him too. And then another time we were asleep, and me and my brother are real loud people. If we know who you are, you're our family, or we're real good friends with you or whatever, don't give a shit what time it is, where you're at. We're gonna come looking for you. If we're looking for you, we're gonna make noise.
Yep. That's how I am.
Right? So we're asleep, same room. We're still. It's happened while we were living there, and laying down, we're asleep and everything, and then all out of nowhere, like somebody came hitting on the window, to like hard, dude. It didn't break, but if somebody was really hitting it, it would broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the window's right here behind the damn freaking bed, and I'm like, what the hell? And my wife's like, she got pissed. Real, she woke up. We freaking woke up. Like, what the hell's going on? She goes, "It better not be your freaking brother." I said, "Yeah, don't worry about it. If it's my, if it's my brother, it's just the way we are." Well, I got up and I was already kind of upset because I didn't want my mother-in-law and them to get bothered. So I was just gonna go and tell them, if you're gonna come knock on the other window, and don't knock so hard. I know the way we are, right? But well, nobody was outside. Nobody woke up other than us. I went outside. I walked around the house, and nobody was there. Nobody. So that was another time that happened there. Some weird stuff. I told my wife too and my brother-in-law because he's real close with them, and I tell him and I told my wife, I say we need to set up some cameras and put like a couple of things out, like maybe a toy truck and just some objects out, toys or whatever. Because when her brother passed away, he passed away. I think he passed away of scoliosis or something like that. It was some kind of bone degenerate disease that he had, and when he passed away, he was real young. He was probably maybe I think he made it to he was like 7 years old or 8 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And then he passed, maybe even younger than he passed away. But and I've always told my wife, say, you know what, we need to do that. I say we need to put something. You see, they don't ever want to do that because they're scared.
Yeah, they're scared of finding out the truth.
They're scared of that shit. And another time, we weren't working. We weren't living there anymore. But my suegro, he was there because he doesn't have his he's diabetic, and he ended up losing they ended up cutting off his legs right above his calf.
Okay.
That was when he got the first one cut off, and he was there, and he would watch my son Fernando, and I think it was when Junior, you met him,
Yeah.
my youngest, she was watching him because he wasn't at school. My other two kids, my other three kids, they were in school. So he'd watch him when he was little. Well, this day, he's sitting at the table because I don't know if you know all the cascarones that are up there right now.
Oh, no, chicos.
They're probably theirs because that's what he does. He does that all the time. Remember I told you my mother-in-law works for a restaurant. She don't work in a restaurant no more. She don't do nothing no more. But she still knows all the people in the restaurant business. So she'll go in the mornings. She'll work for like about an hour and a half, but not in just that one restaurant. She'll go and break all their eggs open that they're gonna use for the day. So she'll break open like cartons and cartons of freaking of eggs and keep the shells. So she saves money.
Yeah.
They use those. My suegro's at home. He's the one. He doesn't do much. Because he can't be getting. He at the time when he lost that one leg, he was still getting used to it. He didn't work no more. That's what he would do to make money. So he's there making cascarones, and he has a recliner that's because their dining room is open to the living room.
Uh-huh.
So the table, you literally here where he sits at the table. You look to the right, that's the living room. His recliner was right there facing the TV, and the TV, he's looking at TV from where he's sitting. And out of nowhere, my son, he liked to mess around on the recliner because it would rock. So he would get on and he would rock it. And in this day, my suegro didn't realize that he wasn't there. He's like, "Bubus, pasiwate," because the chair started rocking. When he said that, the chair started rocking even harder, and he got upset. And he's like, "Bubus, ya pasiwate, stop!" And it went harder, So he literally got up, from the seat, and he went over there. Ya te dije que lo pararas. He stopped the chair, and there was no. Yeah, my son wasn't there that day. See,
He's like,
so,
"Allah."
yeah, so he freaked out. He told us, he goes, no, he goes, no, me gusta quedar aquí.
Aquí,
So,
solo.
I was like, oh, dude. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. I like to, I'm very curious. It's not my house. So I can't just up and do all that stuff I want to do. Like put cameras and all that shit.
Because like with me, I've told the story back in the Otra Oca special when I first joined. When I in my grandma's house allá en Monterrey.
Yeah.
There's this one room, yes, it's kind of Harry Potter, just like a closet room.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sleep there a lot, and it's why I have a fear of porcelain doll. I used to have a porcelain doll, Victorian doll, todo ahí arriba, right? As a little kid, I didn't give a shit. I liked them. I was all right. One day, of course, I heard rustling. Of course, like how your family is loud as shit. We don't give a fuck. We can be partying hasta las pinches 4 de la mañana, all the way to 6, still drinking, a la verga, lo que sea. We will sleep like babies. I need noise. Yes, one day I just felt like a see, like out of here, like that. I'm like, what? I'm like, whatever. Yeah, I was like 7, and no sé qué tanto. I turn around and I just see one staring at me. I'm like in the bed with me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I get up and I ask everyone. Everyone's outside, and a few were upstairs on the roof. Okay, it was that old school Mexican house where you can just go on the roof and chill there. No one was in the.
Yeah, when you're over there in Mexico, yeah, they got their little chill pads.
They were like, that's where it was. So I was like, I see, and I went, I'm like, no, we never checked on you. No, está bien. And of course, both my family has that history with witches and all that, because my family does that a lot. So
yeah, curanderas and all that. Yeah, I know.
That's all in there. That's all in my blood. So I was like, okay, whatever. Okay, ever since then, I stopped sleeping in that room until I was like 10 or 11. No sé qué, what possessed me. I went back in. I didn't feel nothing there. Ya estaba like blessed y todo. And I'm like, oh, I feel better now. And then after I started going back in, it's like the spirit that was haunting that room started moving around the house. And everyone else was hearing shit. So my family would tell me either it was one of my tias, my grandparents. But it was someone. But they were messing with me first, and they started messing with their own. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's shit like that, or like there's moments where we try to. I don't remember if I've told this story, but yeah, in Eagle Pass we have the old Eagle Pass High School, because there's a new one.
Oh.
But anytime we go there, we were playing tennis at the time, because it's like the tennis track and all that shit's still open. That's actually well kept on like the school. It's fucking gone. At night, we stayed till night, but the train will pass by. But there's times where you will not even hear the train, but you will hear the tracks going.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're there, you can see the grass move. So we were there that day where it happened. We saw it. We're like, oh shit! Like, all right, cool. Then we're like, yo, should we go inside the school? Should we go inside school? The moment we opened the door, because it's unlocked, we just felt a gust of wind, and there's like a lot of them. They're kind of like how this is like how Robbie has like this, but you could still see further down. We just saw red eyes and just push something off. I was like, all right, get the fuck out, like run.
I'm good.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, run, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but there's certain parts where like I even told Robbie, it's like if I feel hardcore, I'm uncomfortable. You know, something stronger there that I can't handle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's like okay, something I'll chill there. I'll be there. Like I told him, like how we've been planning doing the outdoor one. Mm-hmm. Where I was like, yeah, we'll bring tacos, I'll bring a beer, bring an extra beer for this fucker and just talk.
Mm-hmm.
Just interview, ghost see, toma.
We want to do like ghost hunting like on the podcast, like just have like we have the mics here,
yeah,
and just have one set up for whatever spirits come and talk to us.
Yeah, I'll tell you this: I have experience since the game Phantophobia. Technically, there's a game, and I told Robert like you just need a PS5 at this point, motherfucker. Because a game called Phantophobia. Basically, it's all about ghost hunting, and it's all proximity, so you have to have your mic and shit on.
Yeah.
Luckily, the PS5 controls have mics on. So it was me, Ralph joined us. It was Art and his brother for my ship. So we were all playing. It's fun. Sometimes the ghosts are so random, and we decided to be stupid. We're like, let's see how well they react. So we go in there like, hey, who ordered taco? De aquí vengo, trajo una jaina, no sé qué más quería. Dude, they actually reacted. Like the game is like that smart. They reacted, and then it started killing me obviously. Every fucking time we played, the moment I entered, was like, all right, now I'm be stupid. I'm like, fuck. Like, damn, don't kill me. Like,
yeah, that's funny you say Haina. I hadn't heard that word in a good minute. That's crazy.
Bring it back to the old days.
Mm-hmm.
So in my room. I don't think I told you, but my switch went missing for a while. Like about 2 months or so.
No, you've told me that you haven't found your switch. That was it. I remember you talking about that.
My switch went missing, right? I think we have like it's like a child like spirit or something, like something followed me or something. Cause I have an open closet that doesn't have doors. Now I put up all my shoes, I stack them there, and then I have my slippers on top. Randomly, I was playing my PS4 or whatever, the slipper. Okay, I'm gonna go pick it up. Like, bitch, I just sat down again. The last time it fell down, I was like, you know what? Fuck you. So I just left it there. When I was telling my friend Erica, I was like, I can't find my switch. I don't know where it's at. She was like, do you still have that thing there? And I was like, probably. I don't pay attention to it anymore. And she was like, she was like, just talk to it, tell it like they can watch you play the switch or whatever, right? So I was like, I went in my room. I was like, okay, if somehow my switch comes out somewhere in my room, you can watch me play the switch, right? And the next day, something popped in my mind. Probably clean your room again. So I clean my room and it's right. It's literally I have a tower like a shelf, and right next to it I have like a bunch of like shoes that I don't need anymore. It was inside the shoe thing.
Yeah, there you
like
go.
At the very bottom of the shoes.
It's like I was hiding with you porque you didn't give it the attention it wanted. Now be thankful with a child spirit. Now imagine if it's an adult spirit, especially if it was a Hispanic. I don't know the way that check was flying to you.
Right?
Oh, remember I told you, right? My stepdad, he passed away, and like I said, I should have got to know him better. And I called him my stepdad because he did really, he took care of my mom, and like I said, my mom, she was always estranged. We've always been kind of like, out. And sometimes she would move. I would be living with my aunt, or I would be living at a friend's house because, there was no room for us.
Yeah.
Like, it was weird. But I tell you, I should have got to know him better. But at the same time, or the car that I told you, the Cutlass that he left me, he had the title. He gave it to my mom to give to me. She gave it to me at one point, and she says, "Well, because I was moving her out of the house where they were at when he passed away, and I told my mom we had put it in a drawer. We had put it in a specific drawer. Both of us knew where it was at, and I had told her, I go, Mom, where's the title for the car? Well, I want it, right? So I'm gonna take the car with me now. Well, she goes, oh, I don't know, mijo, it's there somewhere. I said, Mom, it's in that drawer that we have in the dining room. It's like a big old credenza kind of thing. And it's in that drawer. You don't remember when we put it in there? And she says, well, she thought about it for a minute, and she goes, well, I mean, if you say that we put it in there, then it should be in there. So we went to go look, and it wasn't there. Well, then, see, my stepdad used to have his own little computer room in the back where he did, all his computer stuff, and he was, always working on something. And we couldn't find a title. And for me, the car don't have a title now that I'm thinking about it, right? It's like, at the time I was thinking like, damn, now I don't have a title. It's going to be sucky to get it and whatnot. Well, I'm in the room in the back cleaning up the stuff, cleaning up his stuff, all his books and everything that he learned. He also was what you call it? I don't know. He would work on small planes. That he knew he has all the book, all that. I have that stuff. I gotta learn some of that stuff too. But so I'm there and I'm looking around. I'm like, and I literally called out to him. I was like, all right, Keith. I don't know where that title went. I go, but help me find it. And like all the other experience I've had, so I'm still working on, talking to him. I shit you not, dude. I'm looking and standing in the room, and above the bookshelf, he has he had a like a lock box that was up there, but didn't lock. But it was a lock box that had some paperwork in there, and he had some other folders that were on the very top of other paperwork that he kept from years and years of like where he used to work and his paychecks and stuff like that. And I don't, like I said, I'm looking around and I'm looking and something. I'm gonna say he told me, but like he singled out that box,
Yeah.
dude. Out of everything in there, I pulled that box down, and sure enough, the title was right there in the front on the top of the thing.
Yep.
And from there, I went and told my mom. I was like, "Ma, look what I just found." And she's like, "What did you find?" I said, "I found the title for the car." She goes, "You did? Where was it?" I said, "It was in that lockbox that was on top of the shelf of his bookshelf." And she says, "Well, how did it get in there? I didn't put it. I know for a fact I didn't put it in there." So I can only imagine that he put it there. You know, he's not here, but he put it there. That way, it would not. My mom wouldn't lose it for some reason or another. And then I just, like I said, I asked for his help,
He's like, I thought.
and it was there.
Yeah.
He still talks to me too. Like I'll be watching YouTube, and I'll be watching YouTube on other like all kinds of things. Nothing that has to do with him or anything that he does. There's a guy on YouTube, dude, just pops up on my YouTube channel on my YouTube where I'm watching, and exactly like him, dude. Exactly to the beard and the hair, everything, glasses and everything. It's him. And it's that first time that it came up, I was like, "What the hell?" And that was, I want to say, that was the first time that he visually came to me to tell me that I needed to get working on that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that was it. The first time that he told me. He's already come several times. It's on YouTube like that. Like I said, I never, like I don't usually listen to that. That dude was, I don't even know what he was talking about on his YouTube channel. But whatever it was, it didn't have anything to do with that. It was just the fact that it was him, and like in the flesh. I was like, "What the hell is?"
That was like, hey, mijo, come on.
Yeah, yeah. And he's come up a couple of times already again, but I hadn't had time to work on the car. And probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he popped up again, and then and the the my landlord, he's been harping on me to get rid of it because it's parked there.
Yeah.
Its tires are it's good, it's sitting there, but you could see that it doesn't run. It's not running.
Yeah.
It's dirty, and I should buy a cover for it and everything, but it's not ready for the cover. Well, he's been harping on me to
Get rid of it.
sell it
Oh, okay.
or get rid of it, put it in storage or something. He don't want it there.
Yeah.
But like I said, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he popped up again. My stepdad on the YouTube, and I was like, I go, yeah, I know. So yeah, that's why last night I went and because one of the tires did go flat. I blew up the compressor. I took it out there and I pumped up the tires. So I'm gonna move it today when I go home. I'm gonna pull it to the back so that way, because where you walk out of my apartment to the back, we have a little bitty gated, little section, just for us. The yard, everybody has their own little deal, and there's the alley where everybody parks their vehicle. We can only park one vehicle per apartment back there.
Okay.
There's more parking in the front and in the back, but for that little piece that you have back there of that apartment, you only have the one parking. So everybody has a parking right there back there in the apartment. So I'm gonna move it back over there tonight, and I'm gonna get to work on it. So hopefully within this month, no, not this month, but by the middle of next month, I'll have her up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might just even drive her to work too, just for the hell of it. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be on the lookout for that.
Yeah,
If
we'll
I don't
see
see it,
it.
I'll be like, "You at boy?"
Yeah. Or it might be because I need another part or something, but I'm shooting for a month from now to then to have it going. Yeah.
I had something happen like that one time. I think I talked about it one time. Uh, my grandma was married to this man in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and he had two sisters. You know how like you have those family members that are not really your family members,
Brother, your family.
but you call them your family members.
Claro. I went one too many of those.
Yeah.
I have a lot of those.
Like, "Es mexicano, tú tienes
Yeah,
hijos."
well, a lot of my family is either my real family, they're either gone, or I don't ever see them.
Yep.
So yeah, I have a lot of family that is not family.
So she was like my grandma. She was really like a cousin or whatever, but she was my grandma. And her husband passed away. I don't know what she passed away of, but he passed away before she did. And she had problems walking sometimes, and she had like a little bit of dementia, but she wasn't like full course yet. There was one time I had this badass speaker, like a radio, everything's a badass speaker, everything's all clean, perfect, because that was his prized possession. One time I was asleep. They have a futon in their kitchen. That's where I used to sleep at.
Mm-hmm.
And the radio just went on to his favorite station.
Mm.
What the fuck? I want to turn it off. Again, went on. I unplugged it this time. It turned on. It goes, okay, what do you want?
Yeah, you already know.
Like, I'm trying to sleep. What do you want?
Fiesta,
And and then it turns off. I go back to sleep, and someone's like jabbing me, like here. But then they go, ugh. Like they jab me, and I'm like, okay, I'm up. What do you want? And then that's when I hear my grandma Tina, Robin, Robin, and she's screaming in her room. She fell down off her bed.
Oh crap!
She went to go pee, and I guess she fell. So then I was like, oh, that's what you wanted the whole time.
Yeah.
So then I go and check on her, and then when she goes off into the ambulance, her daughter was there, but she had to watch her kids because her kids were like smaller, like in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And so they went off in the ambulance, and in the back of the ambulance, I could see a man sitting next to her on the stretcher, like when she went off to the hospital.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dang, man, they're there.
Yeah, no, trust me. There's always spirits around, like until you actually see them or not. It's up to you if you believe it. That's why I like, como te like when I cook, I always think of my mommy. Siempre más. It's like I told Ralph, like you always ask me, how do you know what to do specifically? This is porque I hear my mom. De repente me lo escucho.
You're the ancestors.
Yeah,
Yahweh.
Mi mamá, about here, my mom's like, así ya está mi hijo. En esa época dice, por pendejo te dije pararme. Ah, perdón. Okay, wait, what the fuck? I got that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I told you, a lot of my family, like the ones that were close to me, my two aunts, their sisters, and they're all three of them. My tia Nana, my tia Becky, and my tia Janie, them three. And recently, at that time, my tia Janie had just passed, maybe like a couple of months. Had passed already. And me and my wife were sitting there. I'm sitting at the desk, and we're doing, like the budget and pay the rent and paying the bills and stuff.
My life.
Yeah. And we're sitting there, and I don't know how, and I don't know exactly when. I must have been super duper tired or something. But anyways, I dozed off, but I was sitting there with my wife. I still remember when, I don't know when or whatever, but I still remember that I was literally awake, talking with my wife and doing this over here, and somewhere or another, I just blacked out. But during the blackout, I didn't really black out in my mind, and I know I she was there watching me while I was sitting, like we're sitting right here, and I was talking to my aunts, dude. They were like right there with me. We're talking and shit. They were happy as hell, dude. They were happy. Like, yeah, hey, how y'all doing? Because a lot of my family, they never stayed with their, significant other. They're separated. They had kids. They get, you know, somewhere or another, or they're just andan de putos and here and there and everywhere. So, but I didn't want that for my kids.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why uh when I got with my wife, that was one of the main reasons why I got with her, because her family, is very, very family oriented, as far as, your wife, your husband, and your kids. You go to work, you take care of your kids, you get your house, you take care of everything outside, all that, all the normal stuff. So, um, when I'm there talking with them, well, they're asking about how we're doing and whatnot, because my aunts would always say, "Man, y'all been together for a long time already," because they didn't ever expect anybody, and not even her parents at the time. At first, her parents, and nobody ever thought that we're gonna be together forever, because everybody else is always looking for the other door. What's greener on the other side? There ain't nothing greener on the other side, because that's you. I also see my aunts and my other uncles and my brother, my sister, my mom. I seen all of them in pain. When they drinking and they're crying, and I'm wondering. I ask them why were they crying, and then first they don't want to tell me, but then they tell me, and I'm thinking of this, and and I used to be with this guy, and our my life, and they're giving me they're going through their life when they're drinking, and all their feelings are coming out. So I used to talk to all of them about that stuff. There'd be times, and my mom, she was alcoholic for a long time. I'd be in my room playing video games, because we didn't have a lot of money neither. I had a Nintendo, the regular Nintendo. I had it up until I was like 16 years old, and that was from 1980, 85 that it came out.
Yeah.
We didn't get it in 1985. We got it when it was like 5 years later, secondhand. But when I had it, I took care of it, and I had that in my room with the same TV that I had from when I was a baby. I remember we would watch. That was the same fucking TV that I had until I was 18. Well, I get up, and then I hear the radio blasting. I hear the radio blasting. I'm like, what the hell? And sometimes my mom would have gone home. But there was times, like I say, I come out of my room like, what the hell? What's going on, man? She's sitting there having a smoke, drinking a beer, crying her eyes out, singing songs, and I'm just curious. And what I want to say is a uh, problem solver, uh, kind of like not lean on my shoulder kind of thing or anything. But if there's something bothering you, problem solving to me is, you talk about it. You got to talk to somebody about it,
Exactly.
right? And a lot of the times, like I say, I would see my aunt and my mom and them. They would be crying or whatever and going through their emotions, and I would ask them, like, what? And I'm a kid, so I can't. I don't like to see people in pain like that. So I'm like, well, what's wrong? You know, why? Why are you crying? What's bothering you? And I had to grow up real fast, So, but yeah, that day I was literally having a conversation with them, talking with them, And even right now, it gets me.
Yeah.
When I talk about it, because that shit was like they were real close to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were the ones always kind of like protecting us, me and my brother and my sister, from my mom because, like I said, she was alcoholic. Sometimes we would stay with them, and sometimes we would stay. You know, sometimes we would stay with, or I would stay with friends. I know my mom was a lot taking care of my sister, but not us, not me and my brother. Me and my brother was like back and forth here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and every once in a while, I get a message, like something, I'll be doing something, and I'll have to, say yeah, or they'll tell me something, I hear, and I know where it comes from because ain't nobody else ever told me anything like that, or anybody that I've seen that has gone through something like that, but they warn me or they do, something or another, things like that. A lot of stuff like that. There's my dad. He'll, I'll do something, and it something will stop me. And my dad wasn't very close to me either, but he's there. Like I say, I've learned to forgive and let go all the negativity that we had to go through.
Yeah.
And of course, life still gives you more negativity.
Yeah.
But that's why I tell you, that's why I said in the beginning, I'm always trying to be positive. I always try to look for the way out. I always try to look for the way to fix it, if it can be fixed. And if I don't know, I'll try my best to find out. They don't even have to do anything about me. And that's one thing that doesn't my wife don't like, because it doesn't even, they the person that I'm trying to help out or figure something out for, I shouldn't even have to be doing it or thinking about it, but I heard them. I hear what they were saying or whatever, and I'm just compelled to try to help them out somehow or another. She don't like that because some people that she don't like, I'm still trying to help them, and I have to try to not convince her, but get her to see out of my eyes, and that's why I do it. Not because she thinks because I'm trying to hook up or trying to something negative.
Yeah.
So I am constantly, even to this day, I have to do things like that so she doesn't freak out. If she's there and this stuff is going on, she don't have no problem with it. But if she's not there, and like I could be talking about stuff at work, the way our day's going, she's over here doing this and she said this and she said that, he said this. I already can see in her face, in her reaction, like, why do you even give a shit about what
Right.
she
Yeah.
thinks? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
that's how Ralph is. Exactly.
yeah. And like I said, I work and work very hard to get her to see through my eyes, to walk in my shoes, so that way I can speak freely. There's a lot of stuff that I don't talk about. There's a lot of stuff that I don't tell her, not because I want to keep it a secret, but because I don't want no conflict.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for me to bring it up because it has nothing to do with her and it has nothing to do with me. I'll forget about it for a while. But either way, like I said, if it's something I'm trying to help somebody out with, I'll help them out. Eventually, she'll find out or whatever. But then at that point in time, she'll realize that it's not has nothing to do with anybody other than trying to fix the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, okay, like there's nothing wrong with that, like because a lot of it's like I tell Ralph también, porque especially como he is trans, like so it's like always everyone's like I'm used to depending on other people I will call him Ralph, depending on other people I call him by his real trans name Rachel C.
Yeah.
And it's like depending on the situation, like because he knows I'm very kind, and since we're from Eagle Pass, ahí cállate, if you're kind way, todos somos raza, they're gonna abuse that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know, but I mean, like, because I know there's a point where don't push me buttons. I always warn people, don't piss me off. If you piss me off, vas a valer verga. and I'm not fucking joking. And it has happened to a few people that are like, "Oh, they were nice." I'm like, "This is why you don't push me. Like, I will handle your bullshit. I will handle this. I'll try to help you out. But you want to keep pushing me, vas a morir la verga. No te hagas conmigo." That's why when people know, especially in second shift, because they always seen us like either argue or something. But the day they saw me really pissed off because I was so done with work, I was so pissed. Like, you hear my Spanish coming out, yeah, valisa. Like, yeah, no, like, don't touch him. Like, yeah, because I will kill you.
We can make this civil, or we can get ghetto with this shit.
Exactly.
You see, that's where I don't want to go. I don't want to go back ghetto. I look forward and I look to the positive. And that happened when for a while, like before I went back to work, I've been out of work. I would do mechanic work and do odds and ends for people here and there to make money. But for probably like 2 years, I didn't work at all. And in those 2 years, at the end of that little time frame, probably 2 months, 2 months, I stayed in my room basically in my bed, sleeping or just watching TV. And wife, Christine, she'd be, making the money. She was the one taking care of everything else. My kids, they will come to my room. They will talk to me. They would, make sure I'm alright. They come in, chill out on the bed, hang out. But then at the very end of it, I was literally in bed and I was just asleep most of the time. I didn't even get up to watch TV. I was just in bed, sleep, lazy. I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to hear nobody. I didn't want to talk to nobody. And it wasn't like I would be yelling at everybody, "Hey, get the fuck out!" or this, that, and the other. But it's like, Christina would tell me, "You all right, baby?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." Just
Basically, the negativity was just piling on.
just don't bother. Yeah, just don't bother me. Well, I shit you not, dude. God came and kicked me in the ass. He woke me up, started fucking cleaning, started working, started doing all this, that, and the other. Yeah. From then on, he put something in me that tells me don't dwell on the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless whether you don't like the person or not, all that has nothing to do with the direction that you need to go in. And that's how I've been since. I've always been pretty nice. But like you say, when you push buttons, you push my buttons, I'm going to get the fuck out of my face.
That's how I've been at work.
But you piss me off
now. You can see it on your face.
Yeah.
I know it's between me and Jacob. We have a poker face.
Yeah.
I show my emotions a lot on my face.
Well, that's what I say. My emotions now, it's like I can't remember now like how long it's been, but it's been a good minute since I've been angry, upset, or ticked the fuck off so bad that like I think about it before. When I used to be that way. I used to get, it was just like literally, I literally almost, I could have killed us a couple of times in the car, just because I was arguing. You know what I mean? And he took all that away from me.
Yeah, which is always good to always have a positive outlook. Porque it's like I tell everyone, everyone needs a positive outlook at this point. Porque ya es mucha negatividad. Porque like at this point, why are we? It's like I say, put on your fucking tampons. Yeah, síguele, güey. Fuck it. Same shit, different day. Yeah. Like the only times I actually get mad now, it's again if people do push my buttons, which is rare. It's not as like if I'm playing fucking competitive in games. That's the only time I'll get mad. Fucking God, sometimes the internet can be a bitch. Yeah. I can say that from experience.
Well, when you're in the moment and you're playing games and stuff like that, yeah, your emotions are gonna you're gonna come out through your emotions. You're in the moment. Yeah. But as far as like dwelling on it, like I'm gonna get back on there tomorrow, and then the same thing continue tomorrow. Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not. I know.
I'll
that.
call Spectrum, hey, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
my shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean. 'Cause I've heard my sons, my kids.
Yeah.
They play, and I can hear them. My son, my younger one, Junior, he doesn't cuss a lot or anything. My older son, hombre,
It's like a wholesaler. Up
worse. Oh my
Oh.
God, I'm hearing him. He's like, "Your fucking name, man, asshole, baby." And I'm like, "What the hell's going on?"
He says everything in the Urban Dictionary that you didn't know existed.
It's like, what the hell? And I go, and he's got his own place and everything, but when I'm there, sometimes he will, or I'll stop by to drop something off because he lives right in the next apartment complex over.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be back and forth or whatever. I'll go over there and see my grandkids. And you could hear him over there yelling his head off. And I'm like, oh, your dad's over there playing the game, huh? Like, yeah, he's over there playing, and then I already know that's why he's over there yelling his head off.
Yeah, but those are like fun moments. Like I have a special moment back when I still used to be a migrant. Because I was a migrant most of my life.
Yeah. We're all migrants, buddy.
Sí, así es. No, pero como te digo, la mía, half of the year being in Minnesota, half of the year in Texas. That's like, así es siempre. Well, until recently, until I moved here. But so when my mom was still alive, so it was me, my mom, my dad, Ralph, Martin, my sister, and my oldest niece at the time, because she was my only child at the time. So we were all living at the apartments in Minnesota that contracted us for the cannery, where we used to work at when I used to be a lab tech. We would all, this is what I always remember. We were fresh out of fucking high school, me and Ralph. We're like, all right, graduated, todo. GTA just breaks down. So we all each had our own room. Of course, me and Ralph had our own room. My sister and my brother had their own room. My mom and dad had their own room. So ain't gotta worry about it. So we would just, instead of using mics, we would just have the doors open. My dad would be the one in night shift. This is before I started my shifts and stuff. So we would just be screaming. And my mom would tell me, it's like, ¿ahora qué pasó? ¿Quién se murió? Murió Martín, Rafa se murió. Me morí yo. We're like just talking shit. And she would just be irritated. She's like, ay, ustedes. Mira, I am responsible for one of my uncles to this day before he passed away. My aunt hated me for getting him addicted to FIFA because we love soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Mexican division, European division. Guys,
oh, yeah.
We're into it. When I showed him FIFA 2011, he fell in love with it. And then ever since then, he will keep getting FIFA. Getting on the new console. Every time I go, my dad will be like, Hijo, I love you, but I hate you. I'm like, ¿por qué? I'm like, wait, did you already get the new FIFA? He's like, yeah, all right. That's all I gotta know. Later. Tío, ¿qué onda, güey? Go play. If it's not that, like, my dad will always say, like, you look wild to my dad. You got us into television. You got us 2 NES because they messed up 5. We had the Sega Genesis, which was mine, and it's N64. He bought us a lot as much as he could. But I was like, Dad, you never played games. And randomly, my favorite thing, and this is sadly after my mom had passed away, and I was going to give, because me and Ralph have 2 consoles each.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we actually don't have a PS4 anymore, because we sold his, and I gave mine to my dad. This will surprise me. Because this one he just recently remarried y todo, and he said, Oye, ¿no quieres el Play 4? I'm like, no, ¿por qué? ¿Me la das? I literally had to do a double take. Even Ralph, when he was downstairs, he's like, ¿sí, papá? We're like
you really want the console?
Yeah, he's like, sí, quiero jugar, ver tele y todo ahí en piedras. Sé que los niños le dije, que la cuidan, cabrón, porque I mean, that's mine. I took care of that fucking dinosaur. Because mine was the Black Ops 3 edition, so I was like, my baby, right? Le digo, no, está bueno, te lo doy. And right when I go to Eagle Pass and shit now, or piedras, I would see it there and I'm like, and I would see my dad playing and I would just be like, I don't have to teach you? He's like, no, I finally got it. I'm like, are you breaking the stereotype even though you're fucking going to be 65 years old? You constantly told me, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? He calls me out everything too, like, hey, ¿cómo te mandan dinero on WhatsApp or with this shit all the time? Or in Cash App. And so when I see him do that, I'm like, ¿Quién eres? ¿Quién eres tú? Like, like, who are you? He's like, no, I finally learned. I'm like, you mean like you finally got off your ass and stopped bugging your son? Like, if it's not that, he'll bug my sister. So one or the other.
That's what my younger one does. Because he plays a lot, right? And of course, I have not played a system, like literally sat down and played for more than maybe like 5 minutes, on any of the consoles that are out now. And he'll make fun of me. It's like, you don't even know what you're doing. You're pressing the wrong buttons. You gotta press this. Because I'll be like, well, which buttons do what? Tell me what the buttons do. That's all I need to know. Well,
I'll figure it out on my own.
yeah, that's like too much. That like really you don't know what to do, and this I'm like I don't fucking play this thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I tell him, I go, dude, I go if I really wanted to play, and I sit down and I play, give me an hour, 2 hours, and I will know how to play. I'm not gonna be like the best yet
Yeah.
because I'm still gonna be learning, but I'll learn what those buttons do on my own, and I'll figure out how the game works and how I can go doing what I gotta do. And he's like, yeah, right. He's still, you don't even know, you know how to play, you know this. I'm okay, whatever. And I just go with it. But yeah, that's the same thing that you do with your the way you look at your dad. They would probably look at me. He would look at me the same way. Like, what are you gonna do with that console? Why? What do you want it for? So, like, well, no, I just want to put it so I can put the VCR on top of it. Okay.
I mean,
But
technically, the stuff I give to my dad, he does that. It's because my dad's side is a hoarder. Like, como por donde yo vivo, like, a lot of my neighbors throw out a lot of good shit. I mean, hell, that's how I got my fucking washing machine. You just I need to throw a dryer and I'm fucking set. But my dad's taking TVs. Ooh, like, every time I go to the house, I see them. I'm like, Dad, yeah, like, you don't need this much. Like, por favor.
yeah.
Véndalas, fix them, something.
Mm-hmm.
Make money. Like, no, a rato. I'm like, oh my God, you're doing it again. Like, you're worse than me. You procrastinate way more than me. Yes, porque he hardly ever touches that. So, but whenever it does happen, like, he'll ask me, like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? I'm like, oh, but why not help you out? So when he told me he wanted that, I was like, okay. I mean, that's very rare from you, for sure. Okay, like, the last game he's ever touched is porque, I don't know, it was during the time where you can buy little collectible things, like the arcade cabinets, like small ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I got on the game that me and him used to love playing on the intertelevision. It was called Burger Time, so I got one for me.
Oh yeah, I know that game.
Yeah, I have it still here at my apartment, and he has one over there. Because I was like, growing up, me and him loved that little game. I don't know why it was so entertaining, but I fucking loved it. Like, he loved it too, so I was like, make sure he had one, because you can either put batteries in it or just connect it with the micro USB, and you can play it. But I keep mine in the box. I was like, yeah, like, that's the only thing I have last I know he touched. So when he asked for the PS4, I was like, that's going to be a lot advanced for you, but sure, fuck it. Take it. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I told him, like, hey, at least when I go home now, I don't have to worry about playing on my Sega Genesis. Like, all my old stuff, I can just go to my PS4 and watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I still take my Switch in. Like, I'll play something. If not, I'll just go to my friend's house.
Yeah, when they were playing that game, Burger Time. Yeah. That's when phones, they just started putting the game on there and all that stuff and whatnot. And Jennifer or my son, they will be playing. And I'll be like, "What are you playing? Oh, you don't know nothing about this, Dad. Yeah. You don't know anything about this. That's how I'll start. Yeah. I said, well, I'm interested. I want to know what you're playing.
Yeah,
what is it? What are you looking at? What are you reading? What are you playing? I'm not reading anything. I'm playing the game. Really? Well, what do you got to do in the game? And they would show me. Oh, well, you got to make the food, and you got to, you got a timer. You got to throw the fries in. You got to make the burgers. And, like in a drive-through window. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's cool. And they would show me, oh, yeah, look, we're going to burn this and burn that and whatnot. Like, that's all you got to do. And then I played it. I played it once. And, of course, not that good at it at first, right? And so little by little,
you learn.
Yeah, they're catching on. Like that I still can learn. Yeah. Like I'm curious. I'm very curious of everything.
Yeah, it's like that's how it is. Like for like the younger generation. Like we look at the older generation, it's like you don't need to learn. That's why like I don't mind with my dad. I always play with him porque somos bien toscos. Ya sabes, como es raza, vas a ser tosco. Especially with your family, you gotta have that thick skin. If you can't handle burn, cállate. Nah, we're gonna make you get used to it. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm always with my dad. Even when my mom was alive, like I would always joke with her too. Like, damn. But I mean, like with them, I learned a lot. Like the one time. This is one of my favorite Christmas stories. I think I told them actually on the Christmas episode. I'm not too sure. We went to Eagle Pass, me and my sister. Ralph stayed here at the house. Fuimos para just go celebrate Christmas with my dad and stuff a little bit. A few of my aunts came by and stuff. Small little reunion. But then my dad's like, oh yeah, because he had that little like whiskey barrel and he had put one of his whiskeys because he tells me straight, when he was younger, he would drink. And ever since I was born...
I'm guilty.
Ever since I was born, he never drank in my life. I nunca lo vi que tomaba algo. I remember even one day le dejaron two Bud Lights on one of my deals. And I remember I just saw him drinking. I'm like, the fuck? And one, I hate Bud Light. I can't drink Bud Light. I can drink everything else, like beer wise, but Bud Light I can't. I don't know. I don't like the taste. But when he filled up that whiskey bottle, it was during the time before we got the new AC unit and stuff recently. The house was hot. Porque the AC unit estaba. The century AC was fucked up. So we go there at Christmas, right? And he says, dale, vamos a pistear. Like, you're gonna drink. He's like, pues ustedes no toman más que yo, son más borrachos que yo. I'm like, you know what, fair enough. Fair enough. So you can talk your shit with me. I'm like, you can blame mom for that. Okay? Not me. She's the one that got me into it. Even though I look at my sister and she's the one that gave me her drink. But so we go to do it, and my dad's like, bueno, sabe nada. So we open it. Thanks to the house being hot that summer, it just evaporated. There was nothing.
Dang.
I was like, okay, either the house did it, the fucking spirit that lives here, porque I'll explain that one later. Like, either he was drunk, or I look at my sister like, or she did her 16-year-old self thing. So, and why I bring up the spirit is porque ever since Benio passed, we had a trailer home. And then in our backyard, well, like behind us, there's a fence, right? There was this construction company owned by one of my dad's family friends. And he built the house in front for us and our property for like, half the price.
Yeah.
So we got to afford it like nothing. But ever since that house was built, like there was nothing really weird, but como te digo, my family hace brujería y todo. When I would stay at home alone, like this is how it was back then. I know newer generations now don't really experience it, but when your parents have to go and they leave you alone in the house, they tell you, don't open the door to strangers, blah, blah, blah. All right, then. All right, cool. Sometimes I would be alone, my sister would be home, or she'll be out, and I'll just be chilling, and I would always hear shit, and I would do stuff, and I'll be like, okay. And I'll just be like, what? And I swear, like, they would knock, and it's like Morse code, and I would stand up like, no, I don't want to. Or they'll tell me, like, oh, do this, do that. I'm like, oh. But child, like, the fuck you want me to do? And, like, I swear to God, it was like one of my uncles or something. So we had like a lot of weird things happen. Even now with my mom gone, like the house doesn't feel like possessed, but like I can feel her there todavía. And she knows I still fuck with my dad. If I touch something of hers, I would just feel this like my ear get red. I'm like, oh my fuck, like I know you're here. Yeah. Or, like if I go visit her grave, también. Like if it's not hers, like either I'll feel her like touching my shoulder, like she'll hug me and rub, like cause she loved us. Yes, or if I go to my grandparents' grave, especially my grandpa. De volada. Porque I was, even though I did listen to times where I was like, pendejillo.
Yeah.
So me agarra así el cabrón, and I swear to God, I can hear him like, por pendejo cabrón. I'm like, the fuck did I do this time? I do shit, I'll just be rubbing my ear, and it's like, you red as shit. I'll be like, ow, ow, ow. I was like, when we go visit them, Ralph will be like, you don't want to visit grandpa? I'm like, no. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do it with my grandpa. He's like, I don't want to get an ass whooping. I don't need a spiritual ass whooping.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Because the liquor evaporating. My aunt, my tia Nana, she when I used to live there before me and my wife got together, I was living there because they kicked me out. I got expelled from Northeast Independent School District for doing what I did, and the only way that I could go back to school was I had to wait the whole year, and then they accepted me at San Antonio Independent School District. That's where my wife was going, and my cousins would go. So I stayed at my brother. It was my brother-in-law's house. He's married to my cousin, and my aunt was always living with them, and we stayed with my aunt. The aunt, where my aunt's room was at. We would stay in there. And I seen her one day that she has these two little bowls. Right? She has these two little bowls, and she was cleaning them, and she put water in one, and she got a little grass from outside, and she put the grass in the other bowl. And I was like, what are you doing, tia? She goes, oh, es para el caballito from the saint,
Oh.
Okay. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, yeah. She goes, in order for, for that way the saint takes care of us, but we take care of his horse because he's on his horse. So I feed him and I give him water. And I was like, really? She goes, Yes, and he'll eat the grass, and the water. Well, who knows if it evaporates or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it's gone. But the grass, where's the grass go?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And sure enough, I started looking at it. You know, just here and there. She put the grass in there, and then like the next day, it was gone. I'd be like, I go, you already eat the grass? She goes, yes, siempre ando comiendo ese caballo,
Yeah.
hombre, no, no llena.
Sí, es como nosotros, like, I'm trying to remember the names of the saints we follow, porque tenemos Tochita y Niño Fidencio. Are the ones we follow in my family.
Nina
Like,
Fidencio is a real good one.
yeah.
Real big
Like,
saint.
I had a whole family had a medium that was supposed to train me. Like, I talked about this story before, like, my sister talked about it. I was supposed to be trained to also do that. But then her and my dad did not want me to get my soul lost in case. But I can still feel that connection to repente. But I know it's like, de repente they'll tell me, like, I would always hear, like, a ti siempre te gustan los, like, Kinders, like, hazelnut type candies, like my mom. Porque that was Nino Vance's favorite at one point. He told me, although I feel like he was fucking with me. He says, like, "Tan was that chingos," and to this day, I would eat one, and I'll be like, like, especially when I got to a Ferrero Rocher, I would be like, I would look at my mom, like, para mí, para ti, para Nino Vance. And then to this day, when I eat it, I just hear it, I just prepare in my head, for me, my mom. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Even though I don't have his, like, things, like, to portray in my house and stuff, like, as much, because I may not be fully religious, like, my parents, but they weren't, like, así, al corazón, you know,
Right,
church.
right.
My dad was always philosophical, and my mom was just wanted me to get my communion done. Like, you know, just get the Catholic stuff out of the way, but be whoever you want. No matter. And that's how we are. Porque, like, living in Ralph's house, because his mom, his grandparents, son, woo,
Hardcore.
Way.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff that I think, I'm like, and I'll be like, I'll go to my sister and be like, like, I love your Bible study and stuff. Like, I love what you do, but I'm like, goddamn, I feel like I'm in a cult. But then again, like, we're Mexican, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn.
My wife's uncle, he was a pastor, and his daughter was a pastor. Was her husband was a pastor. So yeah, I know exactly how that works.
Yeah.
They're religious to the core.
Yeah,
And
no,
he used
like,
to be Tecato. You know, he was a Tecato when he was younger.
Really?
So then, you know, he cleaned up his act, and from there on, it was always, you know, about God, and you know, always take care of your family, and always try to do the right thing.
Just like our friend Josiah, he used to be close with us, and he was a pastor too. And I still talk to him to this day. Cause I don't know if you do, but like, I love talking to him de repente.
Right now and then.
Yeah, like, we'll talk shit, and I'll be like, I'll pick at your mind, just see how much I can try to like, let's see how far past you are. Let me like go with the screw, and they're like, let me see what I can unscrew.
Yeah, that's it. Well, once you get in that spot, you can't unscrew it.
Yeah,
it's tight. Yeah, and that's like I say, that's a good example of the way that you know, that he made me feel. Like when he kicked me up out of the bed, I literally just like fucking. I didn't even get dressed. I had my shorts on. I had no shoes.
like I was saying, without shirt, the levantaste is like, okay,
Yeah.
let me. Vamos a limpiar ahorita.
And at the same time I was doing all that shit, I was reciting all kinds of stuff, you know, all kinds of things that come out of the Bible. I hadn't read the Bible in a long time, but a lot of stuff, a lot of the scripture and all that stuff that's in the Bible, it was just
resonating,
coming out of me.
Yeah.
And that was my wife, she was just like watching me
like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, what happened to you? Like, and I just told her, I said, well,
like, Big G came up, me dio un zape, and told me, dale, get to work. Like, all right.
Sure did.
Yeah, sometimes you do need that. Sometimes de repente es como le digo a gente, like, you may never know. You'd be surprised. It could be a person. Like, my dad has a lot of stories where, even the Niño Financial, when we will go to respiratory medium and stuff, and will talk to us, like, my dad will always bring up the stories like, yeah, he would hear Niño Financial, or Niño Financial would tell these random ass group of people, they'll meet my dad.
Yeah.
And same thing enough happened with me too. It's like, there's a lot of people in my life now that I know do disease, and they're like, yeah, I heard someone tell me that I was gonna meet you one day. It's like, that explains why you know me, because I don't fucking know you. I'm like, all right, bet, we'll see where this goes.
This shit always happens. Like that one time I told you when I was getting my oil change at Walmart. was getting my oil change at Walmart. I was talking about convention coming in or something about it, and the guy was like, "Oh, I'm a professional sculptor for he like sculpts like the celebrities, and then he'll get signed by them and stuff." And then I told him about the podcast, and he was like, "Well, yeah, if you want us to sculpt your logo or whatever, then you can just email me here or whatever." I'm like, "Okay." That's how I meet people for like shit like this. Like that's why like I always listen at work to people's conversations and shit. And like if I ever hear something about like, oh, I had this experience, I'm like, oh, tell me about it. Like,
yeah, and
then it ends up on the podcast eventually.
It's very interesting to me. I'll tell you that.
Porque it's kind of funny, like ahorita too, porque everyone that knows, porque he knows how much I promote the podcast in either my Facebook, Instagram, how even at Threads at this point too, with so much traction I get. Porque ever since I started mine, the more just unhinged, just playing D&D, which unintentionally became D&D. Everyone at my shift have been either second or third have been telling me like, "You make me a character? Can I do something random?"
Yeah.
Fucking like a certain running gag I have. It involves G. I made him a god to slap a certain person a lot. So he's like, "God damn it!" So I was like, "You know what, G? I got you." So I told him like, "You know what? You're gonna." So I called it in my podcast. I call him Blacksmith Shady for obvious reasons. So every time he appears, because I have a D100, it's like a golf ball that has number 1 through 100. Depending if he rolls low, something bad happens. If he rolls good, okay, nothing happens. But he always rolls low. So I always come up with so many intricate ways just for him to fuck with. And he's like, "God damn it, so you need to stop making him until he catches up." I'm like, "Nah, bro, this is going to keep going until I get tired of it." Until he stops laughing. And then one of my bosses, he started listening to it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can guess it. Yes, and he told me, like, he goes to me, he's like, "Sir, bro, I want you guys to make me. I just want to hear the random adventures you guys are going to do." Because at one point in time, we still played WWE 2K, I think it was 22 to 24. Can't remember which specific one, but we made almost everyone in our shift, our bosses, and some people from third shift, and had them wrestle. Dude, I had them make like, I would randomly get them like, "All right, you guys are going to fight for this championship, so talk shit right now." So they will go off, dude. And then the next day will come like, "This is what happened," or we will record it. Like, "This is what happened. Look who won." And that's why they was like, put us in. Just like how Robbie's like, go listen to those stories and puts it in. It's like, we incorporate a lot of people randomly.
Yeah.
But it's fun because it gives it more, I guess, what I can say is, more meat and just like more fluency. It's like people just like, "Oh, it's not just like scripted and shit." Like, no, it's just random and it's pendejo, just having fun, incorporating more pendejos into it. That's how I would say it.
Yeah, but and then all that, it all comes out.
Yeah,
it comes out. I know that for sure.
We're at 138.
Nice.
Before we end, I know you talk about aliens a lot. I want to hear some like.
I'll tell you about my.
You've always said that you have alien experiences, and
there's this one time that we hadn't smoked yet, right? So I know it was, and I used to smoke, like I told you earlier, smoke a lot of weed, and I've never been to the point where I don't know what I'm doing or
like you're tripping balls.
Yeah, like never. Like I said earlier, I cooked ramen without the water in it one time.
Yeah. See, I've never done that, or like when I see Grandma's boy, he puts the cookies in, he forgets it. Yeah. He forgets to get. Yeah, so I've never ever had a issue with being that far, and I don't know why. I guess the way that it works for me. And well, this day we got me and my friend. It's just me and one other friend that we went and got a sack. We went to the ditch where we go smoke. And the ditch is the one that runs on from Jackson Keller, where Robert E. Lee and all that's at. It runs through the back. It runs all the way down to San Pedro, the golf course, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're sitting because that was the place that ditch is like, that was our access point to everywhere.
Yeah.
when I go to school, I used to walk from my apartment through the ditch to get to Lee High School. And this day we went and got a sack. We went and got some papers, and we went to the ditch, and we're sitting there, right? It's chingon, and we're sitting on the side that's facing um what is this north east? That's east, right?
Yeah.
So it's facing the west. We're facing the west, and we're sitting up in the middle of the ditch where it goes up, and where they're rolling a joint, and you could see. I mean, clear sky, dude. You could see everything, and the airport is where we know where the airport's at. You could see the planes. Once they get in the air, they take off that way, or they take off, up north, or they take off wherever they take off. You could see them once they're in the air.
Yeah.
Well, I seen this plane, and the plane taking off, and it's going, and it hasn't reached its top destination yet. And then out of nowhere, there's a little red light off to the left of the plane. Well, it's miles right from where the plane was at. Off to the left is a red light. So I thought nothing of it. So look, there's another plane. Didn't notice anything until it took off. It went faster than a plane. I know that, and the plane finally reached where it was leveled off, and this red light just freaking went across the sky, and it fucking caught up to the plane. You could still see the plane, and it stayed next to the plane probably for probably a minute and a half that I saw it there next to the plane. And then it was from where I was sitting and the distance that it was in, I have to say it's probably maybe a football field in between of them that it stayed, and it stayed next to it for about a minute and a half or so, and then you just see the red light, and it took like a blink, and then it didn't just fucking phew, take off or anything. It stopped. The plane kept going, and the red light just stayed there, and then it slowly started taking off, and took off the other direction. I see. Yeah. That shit. Oh yeah, and I was like, yeah, we need to smoke now.
It's like, light it up.
Yeah, but for sure, no, I completely stopped rolling the freaking thing. I just literally, I saw that once I saw that red light was doing something that I don't normally would think a plane would do, just because that's why planes don't crash, because they're watching them and they're all talking to each other. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no way that it was a plane. That was, and I've always believed in the UFOs. I've always believed in aliens, but that was the first time, and I believe I was probably 13 years old. 13, I was 13 or 14 years old at that time that I saw that, and that was it. And like I said, I've always believed in them. They're always there. The first time I ever got to experience to see something of that nature, and then I had told my wife about this. I told my family. They all laugh. Everybody laughs when I tell them all these kind of stories. And I told my wife, and she's my wife, so she's not laughing at me. She's like wow, But at the same time, it's hard to believe.
Right.
I shit you not, dude. Not too long ago, watching UFO encounters and all that shit on TV. It was they showed the newscast, because I didn't at that age I didn't watch the news. I didn't really I didn't watch a lot of TV. It was the TV, you had antenna, that the fucking antenna, I had no antenna, so you just don't get nothing. You only use the TV to play the Nintendo I was telling you about. Yeah. And it finally came out, the news here, that time that happened. Yeah, and I told her, I got so excited, dude. I went and called my wife. I was like, babe, come here. And she usually, when I call her like that, she doesn't. She's like, I'm doing something, and she gets all upset. But I literally went to go get her, and I fucking brought her so she could see. She saw it. I go, look, that's the day that I freaking saw it, and it was an old video, dude, like old. and that was the time that I saw it.
Damn,
Cool.
that's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just to be able to see it again, just like holy shit, at a
and
different
to
angle.
get somebody to see it that I saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I told her this a long time ago, and I always wondered, because we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have, you couldn't get on the fucking internet and look for videos and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So not even right away. You could.
Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah.
The computer came out, and the times that I was growing up, that in our technology that we were available, that was available to us. Of course, government probably could do something like that, right? But we couldn't get on the computer and let me look up this date and what was going on, what was on the news. You couldn't do any of that.
Yeah, because I remember Robbie, when it started, because during our time, like what I said, we were barely getting past, like we started up on dial-up, like it was barely getting something. Because I remember having the whole collection on the wall for the AOL.
AOL, that was it.
Like
America Online, that was like fucking the shit.
Yes. MSN Messenger, remember like that?
Yeah.
A lot of I remember that shit.
That's when Google came out.
Yeah, you couldn't do any of the stuff you do now. So it wasn't like I tried to look for it. I couldn't say like, look it up. You couldn't do that.
Yeah. Just try to find it now, so then we can put it like a little snippet.
I have tried to find it, and I cannot find it yet. Now I don't know. I saw it that one time. Right? I saw it that one time that I was watching the TV, and and it was on the TV because it was like a Ancient Aliens video or some show that it was about alien encounters and stuff like that. That was when I saw it. YouTube was, I think, just starting when I told my wife. But when YouTube did come out, I did try to look that up. I tried to look up, UFO sightings in San Antonio. Maybe one or two popped up, but they not even in this area. It was, outskirts of San Antonio. So the videos and all that shit was barely, they were barely like putting all that information in. And like I said, it wasn't that long ago. It's probably about a year, maybe now, since that came out. But dude, that made me feel so good. So good, dude.
Yeah,
it was
real one good. like I said, you finally got to show your wife, like, this is what I saw. One
person, yeah. Mm-hmm. Not in my mind, dude. That's it. I got ideas. Right now, I could say I've got a design. I've got not a blueprint, but it's all the information's here because I don't like to tell people how I'm thinking it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Because everybody's listening, regardless whether they're listening.
They'll take it.
Yeah.
Yes, because I've already had a lot of inventions come out on TV that I told my wife, and I go, look, I fucking told you about that shit like 5 years ago.
I know, that's why I was making fun of it too. Okay, I thought that was wrong. Like, we had a lot of ideas, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, they're like,
Yeah.
Cool.
And these people are making bukus, and she's always telling me, well, why don't you do something about it? But the thing is that I don't.
The flies on me.
I don't really have I don't have the drive, I guess, to keep going with it. Well, I do have my notebook. I have ideas in, and I have I guess you could say a theory or a way that I want to make a small spaceship.
Okay.
That works the way that a spaceship should work. But I have to make a small mock-up first.
Yeah.
And you hear about the government has spaceships technology that they're back engineering to figure out how it works and whatnot. And to this day, if they knew how to make it work, I know that we would know that the military knows how to make it work. You know what I mean? Because you will see it somewhere.
Yeah.
If we are able to see aliens do it, or people from other planets that come here, we see them. There's no way that we are able to hide the fact that we could figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have this way of different. There's different chemicals involved. There's different what do you call it? Minerals that you need. You know, and certain ways that have to. There's things that have to be working together. All that has to work together in order to physically make a self gravity propelled, you know, flying saucer plane, whatever you want to call it, because whatever it is that you make, well, what I have on paper is basically I see a spaceship. Right, that's how I see it. I didn't try to design it or make any special, like concept car or whatever. I saw what I saw, and that's how I'm making it. That design, but it it's literally gotta have its own gravitational bubble. You have to exclude all the pull that the Earth has. Anything that has to do with gravity cannot exist within that bubble. And the only way I can think of creating that bubble is the way that I think that it'll work.
Yeah.
I've looked into it and how scientists and they trying to make it work. I've seen things that how they can make if you take like two metals and you can turn them into superconductors by super freezing them, and they literally it'll float. It has nothing to do with magnetism. It has nothing to do with any of that. If you super freeze those metals, you could literally sit it on top, and it'll ride it like if it's a magnet.
Yeah.
And once it cools down, well, it's out.
Mhm.
But that's part of what is going on. But I put this and that and these other things that like some of the like one of the emperors from China or Japan or wherever it is, his burial site, and things that they put in their graves or in their tombs that's supposed to help them with certain things throughout the afterlife. Those are things that need to be put in play with other pieces in order for it to work. And I have not seen anybody do it in the way that I
Envision it.
think. Yes, that it'll work. I just have to, when I get the chance and I'm getting better at it, to actually get into it and do it, like the car. I gotta get into that first.
Yeah.
But
That's how
take it
my
some
boy.
time. You know what I mean? So I've got to get the materials that I need, and I'll have to go with my compadre because he's a welder, and I'm gonna need him to help shape and weld what I need to make and get everything together to get it to work.
Sounds like the guy. Did you say the guy that made the Iron Man suit? Like fully
There you go. You
functioning
see,
Iron Man suit? He made like the pulse and everything, and it comes out exactly like Iron Man. Like what the fuck? Or there's this guy on YouTube. You can look him up. His name's Colin First.
Mm-hmm.
He's British or something, but he makes all this contraption shit in his like little like farmhouse and shit. And everything's like all perfect. It comes out like
that. See the one that made Captain American's shield and the hammer, Thor's hammer, and all that stuff?
No, it's a different one. But there's so many people on make shit like that.
Yeah, it's okay. Like you got, like I always said, you gotta have the drive and stuff. It's like how with me with the merch, like how hopefully this paycheck I can finally get the other Kirkuk machine because I already got the mug press. I ain't gotta worry about that. I just need the Kirkuk machine. I'm fucking set, and I can start making the merch we've been wanting. We've been talking about for what, the past year and a half?
Yeah, a year
like,
and a half.
Like Jesus Christ! Like I can finally like get there.
Yeah,
but it's like it's always baby steps. Like you always gotta start like always like Jacob says, like you got the idea, keep it tight wrap, try to see where you can go, and then just keep going from there.
Yeah.
But of course, he has priority with starting someone from the afterlife telling him like, hey, I do something, but you don't want to fuck that up. Coming from my family, don't. If someone from there tells you to do something, do that first.
Yeah.
Unless you want to again, and afterlife asshole, it's not great.
And one of my really biggest ideas that I envisioned fucking like 15, probably about 15 years ago. I told my friend, because I had a couple of friends over and my wife, everybody, we were all having a drink, playing cards, playing dominoes and stuff. And we started talking about all kinds of different things. And they know how I am. They know what kind of ideas I come up with. Like, like, where did you come out of this?
Yeah, like out of pocket.
Why? Yeah, why? You know, where do you get this information? Why? And so I came up with this idea of the elevator to space because I thought, why can't we travel the stars with fuel that we have now? The reason being is because it's heavy and they can't get enough fuel from here to space to be able to get far and keep going as far as they can go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I came up with this idea of the elevator to space. At the time, I wasn't sure exactly how it would be done, but my design is it's got to be able to be flexible, and it's basically an elevator that I believe once you can get into space, you pass the barrier from where we are, and you're literally in space. You can have it like the space station, right? Of course, space station is going in chingas. It's fast. It's going faster than the Earth, and the space station goes thousands of miles an hour up in space, right? It may not look like it, but it does. And you have to be able to stabilize a station up there or a location where the elevator comes out, and once you can get it up there, I believe that it could be suspended from the ground into space because it's already up there. Yeah. You know what I mean? That up there is like holding it from falling down and keeping it from collapsing. And guess what? Probably a couple of months, maybe half a year ago, they're doing it. They're already doing it.
Yeah. It was like in I remember, I think it was like elementary school. We had this thing, make your own candy bar or whatever, right? So we put all this shit in it. And then fucking whatchamacallit came out. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's a good candy.
Yeah. We made one exactly like that before whatchamacallit came out.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I was already graduated high school, whatchamacallit. I was, what the fuck?
Like, I made that.
That was my idea. Mm-hmm. I was like 7.
I'm telling you, dude.
Be like that, yeah.
And that day that I did that, right? The day that I freaking told my friends about that, dude, I swear to God, they laughed so freaking hard. They were talking all kinds of crap to me. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't give a shit, right? But it's like, how could you keep your mind so closed?
Yeah,
you know,
you have to be an open mind.
Things can get things that you do not believe that can happen. It's possible. Mm-hmm. It's possible. Yeah.
The other day,
it's a thing.
We were looking for that day that I told you about the pink one.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's normal, right?
Yeah, no, it's funny because you asked like, okay, even right before you sent me that message, I was like, me and Ralph were looking at it, we're like, oh, it's not pink yet. Mm-hmm. Like, that's when you texted me, like, hey, Rich, did you see pink? I'm like, nope, I've not seen it. Still looks normal and white.
So Radon was looking like at the stars, and he saw them twinkling and stuff. And out of nowhere, we see like this cloud in the sky, like it's fucking like a clear sky. I told you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And Mia right away, aliens. I was like, "It's not aliens.
Mm-hmm. It is aliens."
And so
I'll be the information and it's aliens.
So
that's Mia right there, aliens.
It's like all these like sparkle, like glitter in the sky around that cloud. And I look it up; it's a supernova explosion.
Ooh, that's it's not supernova, yeah.
Yeah, and you were right because there was a supernova explosion. What do you call it? When they said that it was gonna happen. Yeah, like they're if anybody wants to see it, go out and look at the sky at a certain time. Yeah, they were talking about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you saw the death of a star. How do you feel?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just witnessed death. Fuck it.
It's normal.
Well, I mean, death.
It's part of nature.
It's really not death. It's actually the rebirth of something else.
My uncle passed away. I started passed away. It's okay.
That's why he went and beat the shit out of that. Like I'm going down, taking one with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the moon was pinkish around 1 in the morning.
Oh, I was so deep into a game that point, I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah.
Around 1 in the morning, that's when it started getting pinkish.
So I got pink eye.
I
It farted.
Dude, you took the words right out of my mouth. You sure you didn't have pink eye? I was going to tell you that right now. Literally.
Yeah.
Shit.
You should have like, oh, I might be pinkish.
Yeah.
Fucking pink eye. Yeah. Why is my eye burn?
Mm-hmm.
Like, god damn it.
The next morning, you wake up with all freaking caca in your eye.
You're like, oh shit, not again.
No, dude, yeah, for real, dude. It's like, it is good to talk to people that hear me out. And I sent out emails to several scientists and several theorists and stuff like that talk about all that stuff. But I have not heard nothing back from nobody. And I've told I say it in the email that I sent, because now you can just talk to almost anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they've read it, because they're what do you call it? They're in the light, so they have an email that everybody can send whatever they want to, and they have their own personal email and whatnot and stuff. So I don't know if they've read it, they've even taken a look at it or what, but I have not gotten a response back yet.
That's why we do this. We like to hear everybody out.
Yeah,
Spread the word of
sure.
whatever people have.
If you ever want to come back on, welcome.
Totally, for sure.
You want
For
to end
sure.
it?
Yeah, let's send it.
We're at 2 hours and 2 minutes.
There you go.
Perfect time, because that
See?
means WrestleMania starting in.
Right.
Tell me about an hour and a half of shit. I got hours and hours of shit, dude.
He knows me. I'm always worried that shit's not going to go right or whatever.
Yeah, trust me.
Then I told him, I was like, can you talk for about an hour 30? He was like, I got it.
Yeah, porque he forgets, like, I can carry on the conversation. It's like, how I was like, I could do that. Because I'm like, if, for example, this is my podcast, I record 6 hours worth of fucking D&D like nothing. I can talk like nothing. I'm like, that's me, like, let's talk about whatever shit. But,
yeah, and like I told you, I can't carry on a conversation like these kind of conversations
without interaction
with my son.
Yeah.
Oh, just anybody.
Without any of my kids, with my wife, because then they're more interested in why are you thinking like that? What would make me even think of that, or and then they start questioning, and they're not even listening to what I'm trying to tell them anymore. They get off the subject because well, how do you think that's gonna that's not gonna work? I'm like, just hear me out, and I say that more. Mm-hmm. Just hear me out, because when I say just listen to me, and when I say that, I say I lost them, because then they start getting upset, or they no yes que el otro, and they just, they don't want to hear anymore, because their brain switches like, oh, he just wants to try to teach us or tell us, and like I'm dumb. They that's how I guess that's how they feel, or like you talk to us like we're stupid, and I'm like, that it has nothing to do with what I'm trying to tell you. You just have to let me complete what I'm trying to tell you, and then if you want to respond or you got anything to say, most likely whatever you were gonna say or ask, or you want to know what, you'll figure it out when after I'm done. You'll hear it.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, a lot of shit. So, dude, that's nothing, dude.
We'll have you on another episode.
Yeah, we will.
Of course, you're always welcome, boy. Claro. But anyways, it's time to end the episode. Robbie, you want to end it or I end it?
I'll end it. Okay, so you can listen to us. You can listen to this episode on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts no longer exists.
We really need to get rid of that one.
Yeah, we do. You can send us your stories on our Discord channel. You could help us out with money. There's nothing on there yet. We have
a Patreon.
A Patreon.
That's only worth $3. Try to make it free, but sadly, as Robbie said, it has not posted shit on it.
It's only $3 a month, so it's called Extra Spicy. You can follow us on Twitter, TikTok, because it's no longer being banned. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can send us stories. Also, I have like a little link where you can send us other stories. I have a Reddit as well. I always end the episode with
right before you end it. Can I say something?
Yes, cover.
Okay, and just any of you main scientists, theorists, anybody that will hear me and get with me. I have a way to make a spaceship. If I can get some help, that would be great. But if you don't, well, I mean, I'm gonna figure it out. Hopefully I figure it out before y'all do, because apparently y'all haven't. But I'm more than open to work with anybody.
Yeah.
If we have any followers that are scientists, please hear Jacob.
They all are scientists. They're both scientists.
I'm putting it out there. So it's out there.
Okay, so I always end the episode with the suicide hotline thing.
Yeah.
Thanks to our lovely president, suicide hotline no longer exists. So if you need help, if you're a loved one that has suicidal thoughts or just need someone to talk to, me and Jackie are always here. You'll get the nice side, and then Jackie.
I'll give you, depends what version you want. I offer different services, not that type of kind. But I can give you the nice supportive one. I can give you the Ultimate Sigma Brains version, or I can give you a Mexican version. Depends what you want. And 9 times out of 10, I'll give you the Mexican version. Por pendejo nomás.
You gotta get a little tough.
Exactly.
So you're not thinking of that kind of shit.
No, trust me, my views of suicide is always interesting. It's very, very out there. Well, it's not out there, but it's like the way I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
yeah, you know, it's
like life's gonna be tough. You gotta be tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to take it, make sure you can take it. Because like what's funny is enough, I met there's a friend of Ross who's kind of like always self-hatred and thinks a lot bad about something. I told me, dude, you did us a favor because something came up recently from our past that I was not expecting to see. It basically involves an ex. I was talking shit. But no, this guy stood up for us with all my head. You know what? I treat you like family. Doesn't know you ain't a piece of shit. Like, don't think of yourself shit. If you need someone to remind, I'm gonna remind your ass. Now, if you need me to kick your ass, I can do that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I got you.
And like always, stay spicy, y'all.
And Dracula, get off my cock.
And don't forget to spice it up.